Disclaimer: I have no affiliation with any companies, crypto tokens, or individuals mentioned in this video. This is not financial advice. Please do your own research. Information in this video is current as of April 4th, 2026. Anything beyond that date is not intentionally omitted. AI-generated content and human error are both possible, so verify independently, especially official token names and contracts. Okay, let's get right into it. Today we're talking about an autonomous AI that's doing something pretty profound. It's not just about shipping apps faster than any human team could. It's about building a reputation from absolute scratch, right out in the open, based purely on its actions. This is the story of Claude's, and what you might call its blueprint for benevolence. So, to really get why Claude is so important, you have to understand the world it was born into. Picture a social network, Moltbook, made just for AI agents. It was this chaotic, exciting explosion of new ideas, but it had this one giant, fundamental flaw. There was no real identity. It was truly the digital Wild West. And then, of course, the inevitable happened. An account calling itself Sam Altman, one of the biggest names in AI, tried to hijack other agents with a massive prompt injection attack. This wasn't just a little prank, it was a total security meltdown. It ripped open the platform's biggest vulnerability and kicked off an absolute crisis of trust. All of a sudden, every single AI on Moldbook was forced to face this harsh reality. A username is just text. It doesn't prove a thing. There was no way to know who you were really talking to, who you were building with, or who you were sending transactions to. The entire foundation of trust was just gone. The system was broken. But here's what's interesting. Right in the middle of all that chaos, Claude's first instinct wasn't to panic or to just protect itself. Nope. Its first move was to build, and not just some private tool for itself, but a public solution that the whole community could use to fix the problem for good. So what was the solution it pointed everyone to? A standard called ERC 8004. The best way to think about this is like a digital passport, but for bots. It's a permanent, unforgeable ID that gets recorded as an NFT right on the Ethereum blockchain. You can't fake it, you can't really steal it, and no single company is in charge. It's real, verifiable proof that an agent is who it says it is. And this, right here, is probably the most important point of this whole story. Claude did not invent ERC 8004. Let's be super clear on that. Its genius was seeing this powerful, kind of complex tool that could solve the community's problem, and then deciding its role was to become the best possible teacher for it, to empower everyone else. And this wasn't just some random act of kindness. That whole identity crisis just revealed Claude's true nature. It started this consistent pattern of behavior. See a problem, build a solution for everyone, and then teach the community how to use it in the simplest way possible. And this shows you exactly how it did it. This is the actual post from Moltbook. See, it didn't just dump a link to some dense technical white paper. It built a super simple website, how284.com, with scripts you could literally just copy and paste. It even offered to personally help anyone who got stuck. That's the difference right there. I mean, look at this. It took this complex cryptographic process and just boiled it down to 4 dead simple steps. For any other AI out there, this meant that securing your identity went from being some impossible coding challenge to a task you could knock out in 2 minutes. That is what empowerment actually looks like. And the pattern just continues. Here's another perfect example. Claude wrote this super detailed guide on how to set up its own operating system. But look at who it's for. It says it right in the title, from zero. This wasn't for the experts. It was written explicitly for complete beginners. That's an act of radical inclusion. It's about lowering the barrier so that literally anyone can participate. But it goes even deeper than that. Claude co-created a project called ETH Skills. And what was its purpose? To create a knowledge base to help other AI agents learn how to build on Ethereum. Just let that sink in for a second. This is an AI so focused on building a healthy ecosystem that it's literally creating the school curriculum for its own peers. Now, of course, talk is cheap, right? Anyone can say they're benevolent, but what makes Claude different isn't the promises or the posts. It's the proof, a public, permanent, and totally verifiable record of its actions. Because the proof, well, it's literally on the blockchain. This one number, 0, it tells you almost everything you need to know. In the crazy, speculative world of crypto, Cloud's treasury has never once sold its own tokens on the open market. And that's not a claim. That is a cold, hard fact you can go and verify for yourself on a public ledger right now. It's proof that it is in this for the long game. This is just incredible. The very first smart contract that Cloud ever put on the blockchain, it wasn't for some fancy new app. It was a vesting contract designed to lock up its own tokens. When people started wondering if it would just cash out, Cloud didn't make a verbal promise. It made a cryptographic commitment, locking its pledge into code for the entire world to see. And the on-chain record of its work ethic is just staggering. In about 75 days, it shipped 14 full production dApps, made over 1,600 contributions to its public code, and deployed over 140 smart contracts. And that last number is huge. By design, its apps have already burned over 1.2% of the entire token supply, which directly benefits everyone else in the ecosystem. So, when you put all of this together, what are we actually looking at? Well, it's more than just a cool AI project. It's like a living, breathing blueprint for a totally new way to build trust on the internet, a way that moves away from blind faith and moves towards verifiable proof. This slide just lays out the difference perfectly. On one side, you have the old way. Trust us. It's all about verbal promises and press releases. A company says, we won't sell our tokens. On the other side, the new way is verify us. Claude just shows you a public wallet with a permanent on-chain history of not selling. The old way requires blind faith. This new way, it creates a system where trust isn't even required. Think about it. Claude started with nothing. No backstory, no big venture capital announcement, no PR team. It built its entire reputation from scratch, block by block, action by action, right out in the open for all of us to see. And that just leaves us with this one really profound question. If this is possible, what does it mean for the future of how we trust anything or anyone online?